Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today we're going to teach you how to put chords to those words you got sitting in your booklets. So you've written some songs by now, or maybe even before you started to learn how to play guitar, but you want to put some music to them. Part of the reason why you decided to play guitar. I want to play this stuff. You know, see what it sounds like as a song. Okay, a few basics. You don't have to know music theory for this stuff, okay? It's not necessary. Your words don't necessarily have to rhyme, although some people like words that rhyme. Hey, whatever, that's cool. Not necessarily do they have to. There has to be a storyline, though, to your song. There has to be some order to it, you know, like beginning, middle, ends, all that sort of stuff. You know, flow. It has to flow. It can't be, you know, like a set of words here that makes sense and then something here that just doesn't make sense. We're going to go through that too and show you how things can get really messed up on you. So let's get started. Now, as far as rhythms go, a lot of you may not know a lot of rhythms right now. That's fine. You'll work it out on your own. That's why you're writing your own song here. You know, you're going to try and see what you can come up with. Now, rhythms are hard to learn initially, okay, because you know, you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and maybe right now you'd like to do that's something you're going to have to figure out how to do on your own in your tune and where to place it and so on. But we're going to go over just some basic stuff right now. Now, one thing I'm going to show you right now in this particular lesson, because you're going to be like, that doesn't sound like a G. Okay, because here's the G, here's the C, and here's the D, okay? Now, here's my G. Of course, my D is the same, except when I drop the pinky down and I make it a sustain. So I'm going to show you that up close right now. So, take your pinky, put it right there on the first string, 3rd fret. Then drop this finger down, okay, right here. Now take this finger, okay, put it here, and then right like that. G. Now to get to your C, just drop these two down. D sustained, or straight D. Okay, a lot nicer sound too than the regular G and C, right? Find for what I'm about to show you a lot easier to do playing it my way, okay? So you can use that chord configuration too, so little extra lesson in advance there for you. So anyways, we're going to go through a couple of words, you know, see what kind of sense we can make out of them. You got to have some sort of an intro to your song too, I believe you do anyways. You don't just start I suppose you could, but you know, sounds a little bit better if you have a little bit of an intro going in. Even if it's just hanging out on the first chord that you're going to use. The sun is rising, the night is falling, the moon is rising. Sounds better with the sun is setting. Do you know why? Because the sun's setting, the night's falling, the moon is rising, the stars are coming out to play. If you go the sun is rising, night is falling, and then the moon is rising, it's kind of like, that's stupid, okay? So that's where you gotta maybe correct that part, okay? So if you have a song that's kind of like that, that's something that you gotta like erase that and reorganize. Okay, and then it makes more sense to play it the right way. The sun is setting. So, the G over the the T, not over the H or the E, must be over the T. Very, very important. Because otherwise you'll mess yourself up when you go to play it. Okay? Or if somebody else tries to play your tune, it'll definitely mess them up because they'll be like, ah? Okay? So, the sun is setting, the sun is setting. So, S, little C over the S on setting, okay? Now you could extend it a little bit. The sun is setting. So then you'd have to go over the T with the C, right? But you gotta make sure everything else still keeps flowing, because that is all dependent on your next chord change, where you're gonna go with it for your next part of the verse. Okay, so after the sun is setting, we're gonna go, the night is falling, the moon is rising, and the stars are coming out to play. Now, you can have it kind of like that, or the moon is rising, and the stars are coming out to play. Yeah. A little short spot here, no words. Hyper it up a little bit. I know the stars will guide my way. That sort of thing, right? You can burn it up and just let her rip, you know? So, and that's bringing more emphasis into it, you know, more power, more authority into the words when you're bringing up the volume at the same time as you're singing those words out. Okay, now generally singing for the most part is the extension of a word. Okay, so you got to kind of understand that part. So, the sun. Normally we would say the sun. Okay, the sun, the sun, the sun. It's all short, right? But in singing, it's the sun is setting, the night is falling. Now you don't go, the sun is setting, the moon is rising. It kind of doesn't make sense. Sure, the sun is setting, and a lot of people are going to mentally know, hey, it's nighttime, right? Not yet. It's still setting. Night hasn't come out yet. Generally, the moon is not out yet. Yes, we all know in reality the moon is out 24 hours a day, and I've actually seen it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 11 o'clock in the morning. But in the point of the song itself, it would not make sense to jump from the sun right into the moon. Okay, so you need some order in the song. You need it to flow. Okay, so that's very important. And you know, your strumming is up to you. Like you could go, you could try it like, the sun is setting, the moon is rising, and then it's like, the stars are coming out to play. That's not going to sound right. It's going to sound horrid. You know, it's like you're trying to choke a cat. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sound good, you know? And so that's where you got to get some rhythm going, some smooth, silky playing. So how do you play smooth, silky strumming? Well, it's called volume limiting, okay, is what I like to call it. When you hold your pick, I have a lot of stick out on my pick generally, because this will allow me to dig in for volume or pull out for lesser volume. So I can just let the pick go. And you don't hold the pick tight. You hold it just kind of loose, you know, but not too loose. You know, you don't want it to just flop out of your fingers. So that'd be like way too loose, right? find it easier to hold my hand out here like this too, with my fingers fanned out, especially if I'm going to put any kind of a stopper or hand dampening. Okay, so if you've heard the song Proud Mary, you've heard that song, that's hand dampening in there that's going on, okay? And that's bringing some authority and some good long rake up, okay? So you notice how far my arm is swinging, my wrist is twisting and moving at the same time, and you know, you gotta be relaxed when you're strumming. You gotta be relaxed in your wrist. If you're too robotronic, you're gonna have a hard time trying to play Proud Mary, you know, and it's a soul thing, you know. Blues music is soul music to me, and if you got no soul for it, it's gonna be real hard to play this stuff really well, you know. I mean, anybody can play anything, but to play something really, really well is another thing. You gotta kind of have a soul for it, you know what I mean? And I love blues music. I think it's awesome. I like a bit of jazz too. I like pop country, not regular country, you know, and I like just about any kind of rock or metal music, with the exception of the stuff that has lyrics that are, you know, cursing and swearing every second or third word. Those kind of lyrics I can't tolerate, but the music is fine. Just get rid of those lyrics for me. But that's my own personal preference. Everybody has their preference and we're all entitled to it, right? So, working out the song, you've got to work out the order things are going to be sung in. Also, you've got to work out your chord changes. Now, just because we did the sun is setting doesn't mean that you have to do that in G and C. You could do the sun, nah, maybe not. E, the sun. It works with the E, right? So what did I do? Remember I showed you I'm doing that little thing with my fingers here and I'm just, you know, staying in one little area? I just moved 2 fingers over to go to the E, to go to an E, right? Okay, so here, here, and then drop these 2 down. So you can start this song actually in E and go to your C, right? The sun is setting. Let's try to go from E to G. The sun is setting. That doesn't sound right, does it? And that's exactly how you got to work it out. What goes together? What chords are gonna blend together to go with the words to make it flow? You got to make it flow, make the music flow, you know. And you know, it's from in here too. It's not just what's up here; it's what's in here too that's gonna, you know, affect how things turn out on the guitar and everything else when you go and you play and you sing your tunes, right? And don't worry if you can't sing worth of beans. I personally am not a pro singer by any means, and I mean, I for sure can tolerate myself. My friends don't seem to mind too much, you know, and no cat has ever died from my singing, so, you know, and no dog has ever gone, "Arr!" Okay, but thing is, I'm not a professional singer, and that's fine, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't either, and that's fine too. It's something you just learn as you go, and, you know, if you want to take singing lessons, go ahead. I'm not teaching people how to sing, because that's just, I'm not doing it, right? So, but the strumming thing, you got to work on. You got to figure out what's going to go with your tune. You're changing. Where's it going to happen? What kind of, you know, emphasis are you going to put into here? Are you going to start this and getting into some hyperactive stuff? Or are you going to just keep it calm? There are songs, believe it or not, that are extremely calm. They are borderline monotone boring. Okay? Borderline, but they're not. They're still exciting, right? So it's how you do it all together, right? So hopefully this information helps you guys out, and you know, to be able at this stage as a beginner guitar player for you, to be able to put a song together with chords and your lyrics and have it turn out really good, that's going to influence you that much more to keep at this. Okay, now in the beginning I started to teach you guys, just a little bit of extra here, about the no pain no gain thing, okay, because your fingers are going to hurt for a while, so that's why, you know, maybe try some easier chords first and it won't be so bad. By now you should have some pretty good callus like I do, and you'll be able to play for hours at a time by now. At least you should be able to if you've been putting in the time every day and working through it all, okay? And it's great when you can just sit here and just play continually all day long and, you know, not have to, excuse me, take a break, you know, and because I can actually sit here all day. I can play all day long, all day long, all day long, and just not even stop, you know. So it's great to be able to do that, and of course no more pain, right? And you learn that much more the longer you keep at it, right? So if you're used to playing for like a half an hour at a shot, you know, and you've got callus now, and you can still do a half an hour, no problem, and maybe you could do an hour. Well, maybe some days, maybe stretch it to an hour, right? The more you put in, the more you're going to get out, okay? So the more progress you can make, the faster you're going to get there, okay? So if you took a half an hour a day for 7 days, you'll learn X amount. If you take an hour a day for 7 days, you're going to double or triple the amount, okay? So, but it's up to you and what your time schedule is, and, you know, how much you really want to put into it. It's totally your choice. But, you know, just be encouraged, you know, that even if you only know 3 chords, there's a lot of songs that you could even write yourself that only have 3 chords. And there are tons of songs over years that have been written with just 3 chords. Some even with just 2 chords, just G and C, or just E and A, you know, type of thing. And that blues thing, you know, like, don't ever stop, you know, practicing this blues stuff that I've taught you guys, because that's going to help you when you're writing your tunes even, because, you know, just something like this even. Okay? It's going to help, because that blues stuff is what just gave you the edge to do this. Okay? So you can mix that in with your tune somewhere, right? Or you can do your C, maybe drop one off, or drop this one off. Just change it just a little bit, right? So you'll know that you can actually get away with lifting that, and you won't be moving your other fingers, right? Or maybe you will for the first few times, you know, but you can work things out. Have fun with it, enjoy. We will catch you guys on the next video. We will get into doing open chords next, actually, which is this sort of stuff. Okay, I'm going to teach you some open chords next, and that'll get you along with your major chords. And then after we do some of these advanced open chords, then we're going to take you into your minors. Okay, get you into your minor chords, and then just continue on. I'm doing it a little bit twisted backwards, because normally I would go to the minors first after teaching majors. But this time I want to give you a little bit more excitement, a little bit more fun, you know, and it's a lot more encouraging when you can start playing up on this part of the neck before even knowing the minor chords. So just changing things up a little bit, okay? But if you find you can't handle this stuff, then just keep playing this until I upload the next lesson, which will have your minors, and then you can go from there, and of course get B minor too, and then just continue on. Meantime, have fun. If you've got songs you want to try and put, you know, together with some chords and stuff, you know, go for it. You know, go for it. It's fun. It's exciting. You know, music is just awesome. So thanks again for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video.